High winds, tornadoes, hail. Wyoming has seen it all this year. This year has been one of the most active severe weather seasons in many years. It seems as though Wyoming, especially eastern Wyoming, has turned into Nebraska or Kansas at times. In this video, we focus on some of the most significant severe weather events of the past few months over western and central Wyoming as we present the Summer of Severe.
I'm your host, Chris Haddings. Welcome to the Summer Severe. And in this program, we're going to cover what we think are the 6 most significant weather days across western and central Wyoming. And we'll do this with the help of your pictures and videos to show the awe-inspiring, in some cases, destructive power of nature. So let's begin.
Number 6, May 28th, Sweetwater County hail and tornado.
Well, on this day, we had a strong thunderstorm that formed near the Colorado border, and as it moved to the north and west, it did become severe. We did have reports of hail around Green River, but something more sinister happened as we headed toward Lyman as well as the Little America areas. You see a funnel cloud did form here, and it did touch down at times, so it was classified as a tornado by us. Now, it did remain over open country, so little or no damage occurred, but it did shock a lot of people. A lot of good pictures taken from this. Sweetwater now has a really good page on this as well. This is probably the best picture we took here, taken from the Genesis Granger plant looking off to the north.
Number 5, June 1st, Big Trails tornado.
Now we move ahead in time a little bit. This happened on the first day of June. Had a pretty good thunderstorm that formed and moved across the Bighorn Basin, but really started getting stronger as it passed Moreland, especially toward Tensleep, heading over toward the Big Trails area. Now take a look at this radar picture we have right here. You can see tracking right there. That's actually what meteorologists call a couplet when we're looking at what's called storm relative motion, basically how fast the winds are going toward and away from the radar. And when you see that, that usually means that we have a pretty good spin in the atmosphere and it's pretty tight, so this thunderstorm is rotating. Now it's not confirmation of a tornado, but it indicates that there is a possibility for once. When we look at these pictures, yeah, you can see well, there was a tornado there. It actually did some damage to a lot of trees blown down, but no structural damage. Also some pretty large hail. You can see hail up to the size of golf balls in this picture.
Number 4, June 23rd, Midwest hailstorm.
Well, our next system is a thunderstorm that occurred in the Midwest on June 23rd. Now, once you take a look at this radar picture, you can see one thunderstorm to the north, one down over in Trona County. When these get together, it's what meteorologists call a cell merger. What happens there is all this air, all this water come together. It can't go into the ground, so it rises. And what this does, it helps strengthen the updraft, and it also helps keep that water up in the air a lot longer so you can get a lot more hail with that system. Now, the hail wasn't huge with this system. Biggest was about a quarter size. Most of it dime size or smaller, but there was a lot of it. Also a lot of heavy rain that caused some street flooding. Look at some of these pictures where the hail drifted in some dry washes. You see some places up to 5 to 6 feet high. And even this picture, you can actually see a bridge forming here from all that hail right there. So we're going to take a look at some videos now of some of the flooding as well as the hail around Midwest.
Number 3, May 27th, severe weather outbreak.
Well, this event actually helped kick off the Summer Severe. It occurred on Memorial Day weekend on a Sunday. I was actually out storm chasing this day and it caught some footage. Some of this footage you're going to see from around the Cova Reservoir. Now, there are a few places that were hard hit. The hardest hit, I think, first was around the Casper area. We had a very strong thunderstorm that formed over Alcova Reservoir that pushed out to the north and east. We had a lot of heavy rain there. There was flooding there, as well as a lot of hail. Anywhere from, say, about a quarter up to about half-dollar size. You can see from these pictures here. A lot of reports of that. There was also a funnel cloud reported around Paradise Valley. Luckily, that didn't touch down as well. Now, another place that got pretty hard hit from this, we had a thunderstorm that formed actually moved northward through the Bighorn Basin. Anywhere from, say, about the basin area going up through Grayville, Manderson. There were some wind gusts there as high as 70, 75 miles per hour. That did help bring down a lot of trees, also caused some localized power outages as well. Had some pretty good videos of this as well, so let's take a look at them.
Number 2, July 27th, Johnson, Natrona County severe.
Now we move on to the number 2 event. Really, the number 2 and the number 1 event were caused by the same thing. We had a stationary boundary sitting over Wyoming, and also a very strong jet stream riding along it. It just so happened the timing of the disturbances riding along that flow coincided with our afternoon heating and produced some very, very strong and severe thunderstorms. Now, our number 2 event occurred mainly in Johnson as well as Natrona counties. Now, we had 2 supercell thunderstorms that formed over Johnson County, one in the late afternoon, one closer to the evening. They brought some very, very large hail. The first one hit mainly south of Buffalo around the Trading Road interchange. We have some good video of that. You see a broken window here from somebody's skylight from that large hail hitting it. And the second one actually went over the city of Buffalo and also crossed I-25 as well. Caused a lot of damaged windows as well as siding and even some cars around the Buffalo area. Some good videos of this. Let's take a look at them.
Number 1, July 26th, the severe weather outbreak.
With that aforementioned stationary boundary lying across the state, this is the biggest outbreak of severe weather we've seen so far this year on July 26th. And we kicked it off in Johnson County. You can see a strong thunderstorm forming here. Here's some hail that fell in the Bighorn Mountains right around 12:30. This is a very long-lasting supercell as well. It lasted about 3 hours, basically going all the way from northern Johnson County all the way down toward, you guessed it, Midwest. They had golf ball size hail out of this as well. You can see that from this picture. And even if you look at satellite, you can see that light area right in there? That's actually a hail swath. It's an infrared picture. You can see the ground a little bit cooler there from all that ice sitting on the ground. So that's actually pretty cool to see, isn't it? Well, the second big storm of the day occurred in the southern foothills of the Bighorns and dropped southeastward across the city of Casper. We started getting reports of quarter-sized hail. You can see this is a picture taken from Barnett, kind of an ominous-looking sky. And also large hail falling around Casper. Highest we saw was probably about $half size. There's a little bit of damage to a carport you can see from this picture right here. But something else also popped up. See right there? Yeah, that's a landspout tornado. Occurred to the north of the event center again. Over open ground, didn't cause any damage. But these are really hard to see from satellite imagery. So that's why we need spotters like you to call in when you see stuff like this. Have a couple of good videos of the hail as well. Let's take a look. And the third strong storm of the day occurred over in the Washakie Needles, basically over in the southern part of the Absarokas. It's one of the big places we see for thunderstorm generation in this area. It became very strong as it moved across the Hamilton Dome oil fields. It became strong as it approached the city of Thermopolis. Now, not quite as bad as the other ones, but still wasn't enough to leave hail like this up to quarter size. Here's a video of that. Well, I think this is probably the strongest storm and the most damaging storm, definitely, that we saw across western and central Wyoming during the 2018 calendar year. Starting up in Montana, dropping very large hail across there. Then it drops into Bighorn County around 6:15, 6:20, coming through Lovell about 6:30, and then crossing over toward Grable about 7 o'clock. Now, main things from this: one, very large hail. There was up to 2-inch diameter hail with this. Also, very strong winds. Highest gust reported in Lovell was 59 miles per hour, probably stronger than that though, 62 at Cowley. Strongest wind gust was at the Grable Airport, about 79 miles per hour. Now when you get 2-inch diameter hail combined with 70 to 75 mile an hour winds, they don't mix very well. Bad things happen, man. Bad things. Let's take a look at the slideshow after. You can see a lot of damaged pictures there, a lot of damaged siding, a lot of broken windows, a lot of downed trees. And the videos at the end are really, really impressive. You want to see how loud the hail was. Turn this up to 11. Well, thank you for joining us for this summer severe, the countdown of the top severe weather outbreaks of 2018 across western and central Wyoming. If you have any opinions on what you think should be number one, sure to leave a comment in Facebook or Twitter underneath the video. I'm your host, Chris Haddings. Thank you for joining us.